Hey, what's happening, Facebook? How y'all doing? Welcome to another edition of What the Hell Longhorn. It's Longhorn the comedian, Vernon Davis, whatever you want to call me. It's Sunday. It's 8 o'clock. I'm here. And I'm still trying to make some changes to my show. So if you've seen the video come up earlier, that was just me, like I say, checking out a couple of things. So want to thank y'all for joining me this evening. I said this morning. This is not a pre-recorded show. No, it's not, baby. What's up, Brother Dave? I see you there. So I got things working. I wish I could turn my camera around and show you what I got working here, but I've got 3 screens going and made some changes to my lighting. I know you can't see it. It's kind of subtle, but it's better because we're just having some focus issues. But I just want to thank everybody for popping in, dropping in, seeing me this evening. Hope you had a great week. I've had a very good week. Thank y'all for all the love that y'all showed to my daughter. She made it through her surgery well, and she's resting. So God bless her. Thank y'all very much for the love and positive thoughts. And my son and granddaughter's birthday was this week. So happy. My son turned 30. My granddaughter turned 2. My other daughter and granddaughter made it back from Atlanta. So life is wonderful. I'm just happy. I'm ecstatic. I am. So this is the last show for February. So I thought that I would it's February, Black History Month. But then again, every month is history. It's history, period. So I don't want to say just Black history, it's our history, but they gave us Black history for us to remember the history of the things that we've done, along the way. So, but before I get into all that, I want to say, hey, I want to look into my magic mirror and recognize the folks I see. I see Randy and I see Dave. I see you, bro. I see, I thought I saw Nanette. Yes, I did. And I saw Ann. I thank y'all. I saw Richard. I thank y'all for popping in, saying hey to me on like I said, it's Sunday. What else you doing? Football season is over. I haven't even checked to see who's playing, who won the new game, the game with popping in, saying hey. Oops, sorry about that. Who won the Battlehawks game? I don't know, so I haven't even looked at it yet. But anyway, I was looking through my things to talk about. And I know it's hard to believe that I would actually come short of things to talk about as much as I talk. But sometimes even I do come up with, try to figure out what I want to talk to y'all about. But it's Black History Month. And I've been putting up history pieces here and there all over my Facebook and everything. So hopefully y'all learned a little something. There we talked about, the inventor of the person who invented the helicopter, the man who did the first open heart surgery, who invented open heart surgery, Cook, anyway, in Chicago. We've talked about the Buffalo Soldiers, Tuskegee Airmen. I put up things about Black women and pioneers. Put up a lot of stuff on Facebook. So just wanted to share some history with y'all, and I thank y'all. A couple of things the Buffalo Soldiers, man, got a lot of shares. So I'm glad that information went a long way. But I was thinking this morning, I said, you know what? I try not to be divisive. I try not to be political. But I decided I wanted to talk about something that I know of and many of us know of personally. I want to talk about, give you a glimpse of what's, it's like to be a Black man in America from my perspective. Not for the perspective of the news or not the perspective of what you read, but from me being a Black man. Yes, I am Black. For those of y'all that are shocked and astonished, yes, I'm sorry, I'm Black. I am, yes. It turns out I'm Black, white, Choctaw Indian. Yes, I have a little red hue to my skin. So, Choctaw Indians, they were from Mississippi. Yeah, Southern Mississippi. But I know a lot about my history on both sides, my mother's side, my father's side. But I want to talk to y'all about, like I say, being a Black man in America is not something that a lot of people get a chance to even, ask that question. There are people who wonder, but they don't ask the question. So I'm going to give you a little glimpse. Now, before I do that, I want to read to you something. I want to read something to you. Because I put up a post earlier. Hey, Charlotte, I see you. Hey, Sheila, I see you too. Okay, Battlehawks won. Thank you. But somebody put up a question. He said, what Black, white, what does it mean? What does being Black mean? Well, the definition of being Black in America more often than not means being judged before you ever open your mouth. It means knowing that many of the people surrounding you already have the preconceived idea that you are uneducated, loud, and ghetto. And this And I'm not saying that's what everybody thinks. I'm not saying that at all. But this is what I found online. I found a lot of interesting stuff online just by typing in what does it mean to be black in America. I found that definition there. I found an article earlier that I put up. It was a about 10 myths about black people that need to be taken behind a barn and shot in the face. And there's a lot of truth there. And I've heard these stereotypes. Smart kids are regularly teased by other blacks for acting white and ostracized because of their academic achievements. I was one of those guys. I was a pretty bright kid, and honor roll and all those, what do you call them, the advanced classes. That was me. Black people don't care about black on black crime. Yes, we do. That's a myth. Yes, we do care about it. Black men generally suck at being dads. Well, if you know me, I'm just gonna laugh at that and let it go there. Black women do not support and encourage black men the way other women, white, Asians, Indian, etc., support and encourage their men. I have to disagree with that as well, because honestly, I wouldn't be back in comedy if it wasn't for a black woman that believes in me and encouraged me to do what I did, more than one. So I can't say that either. Successful black men are more likely to marry a non-black woman than a black one. Can't speak for that. Black people hate the police. Well, there's a comedian friend of mine, Javon Bibbs. He said, man, everybody hate the police until we need them, which is a lot of truth there. So Randy Good, you read the article. But no, we don't hate the police. And the police don't hate us. I had a cop pull me over because he wanted to talk to me about the back of my pickup truck. I had my last pickup truck had a skin on it for "thank you for your service," and he pulled me over just because he wanted to talk. Thank you very much. Honestly, if it wasn't for a cop, one of the people who took an interest in me at a very young age, I probably wouldn't be here today. I probably would be in jail somewhere. But a gentleman named Officer Todd, never forget him. He went on to become Chief Todd at the Junction City Police Department. But he told me, he said, if you ever need to talk, just come in my office. Because I used to walk past the police department going home. He said, just come on in and have a seat and just talk. And he was a good friend. He really was. Officer, he used to give me he was officer friendly. That's how I met him. He used to give me the little baseball cards. Black people are bad tippers. I typically tip anywhere, depending on the service, anywhere. If it's bad service, I give you 15%. If it's good service, I give you 20, 25. Just depends on, how great the service is. So that's not true either, from my perspective. The ratio of black men to eligible black women in your city is a number too ridiculous to even mention. That's not true. Black people who attend HBCUs are ill-equipped to navigate corporate America. That is also untrue. Corporate America is not ready for people of color, plain and simple. Being in my shoes is a little, I won't say it's a little different because I'm not the only one that's done this. I'm from Texas. I was raised all over, spent a lot of time in Texas, Kansas, New Orleans, and around the country. I remember when I was growing up, I was told, if she came in Texas, if the saying was, if she can't use your comb, don't bring her home. If you don't know what that means, you need to ask your black friends. But basically, if she was white or Hispanic and she wasn't able to use an Afro comb, then she didn't need to be in my people's house. Well, I moved to Kansas as a kid, and the first people who friended me was a black girl and a white girl. Kim, I'm not going to call her last name, and Lisa. I'll never forget them. And they were nice to me. One of my very first best friends was John Scott. I will say his name. But he was a white guy. Dad was a lawyer. So I got to see, growing up in Junction City, we kind of grew up in a bubble. We were friends. We were black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Jewish, Arabic. I mean, from all over. So then therefore I got to see things just a little different. I didn't call the N-word out of anger until I was in the military. And I remember meeting people who, I had to keep one guy from getting his butt kicked when I was in boot camp because he was from Idaho. And he walked up to this brother from Detroit and he goes, "Hey, I don't know what your name is, Bubba or JJ or." And I'm like, "Whoa!" And brother about to snatch his head off. I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." Let me explain. He's from Idaho. He's never seen a black person before. He's never spent any time with a black person before. So he did not know. And I had to educate him and keep him from getting his head snatched up. So now, fast forward. I've had some things that have happened to me that have happened to me simply because I was black. Being a black man in America, working a job or being out in the public, let's start here. Being out in public. Yeah, we are prejudged. I see it all the time. It happens to me even at my age where we're prejudged and people are a little standoffish and they tend to be a little defensive and they do things that let you know that they're uncomfortable. They may not even realize that they're doing it, but I see it. We see it because we're trained to see it. This is how we were brought up. We see it. They'll smile, but they'll take two steps back. A white woman will walk past you and she'll pull a purse just a little bit closer. You could be standing in line at a store and you'll see, there's a person there with a small child and they'll pull the small child closer to them away from you. First of all, I'm not going to snatch your kid. I got enough already. Okay. That's not what we do. We can go to, matter of fact, I was in a city with four of my other co-workers and we were having dinner. I got there before they did because I'm on time. Another myth about black people that we're always late. That's not true. I show up at the restaurant, nice restaurant. I got there early and I asked for a table. The woman, the place wasn't packed or anything like that, but I asked for a table. She told me I told her I needed a table for 5. She told me it was going to be a 45 minutes to an hour wait. Well, my coworkers, I said, okay, fine, I appreciate that. My coworkers showed up and they walked up and said, "Can we get a table for 5?" And they set us in 10 minutes. And the look on the young lady's face when I sat down with them was priceless. It's subtle. It's not as transparent as people may think that it is. It's not as blunt. But then again, it depends on where you go. I've had comedians not put me on stage because I was black and they didn't know who I was. So they thought I was going to get up there and just talk about my genitalia. And then when I went on stage and they found out that I was something different, life changed. These are just little small different things that happen. When we go to stores, we're followed around in stores by security. Even at my age, we're followed around in stores by security. What am I going to steal and where am I going to run? In the workplace, we as, I won't just say black men, but men of color, in order for us to be recognized positively, everything that we do, we got to do it bigger, better, faster, stronger. If it's selling something, we got to sell twice as much. We have to present ourselves twice as well. We don't have to be twice as loud, but we have to have our facts in order beyond the pale because we're questioned at every turn. So this is just a small glimpse. People automatically assume because we're black men or men of color that we spent some time in jail. People are amazed when they talk to me and they realize that I speak well and I'm intelligent. These are real truths of being black in America. I remember I was sitting in first class one time and I'm sitting off to the left side of the plane. There was a couple on the right-hand side and the woman reached over and whispered to her husband, "What is he doing up front? What is he doing up here?" But unfortunately, these are the things that we deal with in America. And people go, "Well, man, how can you walk around?" They say, "Man, Vernon, you walk around in a American flag shirt and a cowboy hat. Apparently you embrace this country." What I embrace is my history that I know about, that we know about the people that were not everybody who was black were slaves. There were free men. There were educated men, doctors, lawyers, Indian chiefs, generals in the military, women who were there were women who were millionaires who invented things and gone places and helped people to get the freedom, educated them, nursed them. Black women served in the Spanish American War because they were told that they could not catch typhoid and yellow fever because of the darkness of their skin, because of the melanin in their skin. This is Black in America. One of my little towns I love dearly, Quincy, Illinois. I remember the first time I went up there. Uh, I still go back to this day because I made some very good friends. But there are times when I walk into places to do a show and no one will speak to me except for the person who booked me. But y'all know Longhorn, by the end of the night, hey, I'm taking pictures with your daughters and having drinks with your wife and shaking hands. We are celebrating because I try to teach people laughter has no color. But being Black in America puts you in a very, very weird place sometimes. It can make you not afraid, but it makes you double check where you travel and how you travel, when you travel, who you're traveling with. Young men right now, I tell them all the time, hey man, y'all riding 4 and 5 deep. You don't want to do that because that's just going to get you pulled over. How do I know? I know from experience. But you got to watch where you go, unfortunately, still to this day in America. And people go, man, what's the big deal about being Black? Well, don't get me wrong. I can only speak about being Black because I've never spent a day as white. I don't know what white privilege is except for what I read and what I see. Being Black in America, to me, honestly, is a blessing. I'm proud to be a Black man. Sundays, I'm 125% Black. But the fact of the matter is, I'm a man. And that's how I should be seen first and foremost. That's how we all should be seen first and foremost. But people unfortunately don't see this. If you listen to the politics right now, they talk about the Blacks and Hispanic voters and why we should, they're concerned for those. And therefore we draw that attention to Black and to white. If you watch the news and something happens, they give a description. If it's a white person, they'll say man, 45 years old, 6 feet tall, blah, 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 blah. But I'll take that back. They have changed that. But if it's a person of color, they'll say Black man. And you wonder why people are hesitant or afraid to be around people of color. Now what they do is they may not mention the color of the person, but they make sure they mention, instead of just saying this happened on this street or this street, they make sure they say, like for instance, here in St. Louis, North St. Louis or North St. Louis County. Whereas if something happens out in Chesterfield, they don't say Chesterfield. They'll say it happened on this street. So there's different disparity. So there's different things that are said, what they call them dog whistles. I'm going to be honest with you. No, I don't talk politics. I was a registered Republican until last year. I've been a Republican all my life. And it was something that I was taught a long time ago. People go, how are you a Republican? You must be rich. No. Black people have been Republicans since 1800s, since the first Black president. Yes, there was a Black president. There's been 7 Black presidents, because the definition of being Black is if you have one drop of Black blood in your blood, one drop, you were considered Black. But anyway, we had 7 presidents who either grandmothers or mothers were Black. Plain and simple. But anyway, I was a Republican for many, many years. And, they're talking about, oh man, Black Republicans are conservatives. Have you ever met a more conservative person than a Black person? An older Black person? They save their money. They watch what they save their money. They take care of their business. They have very, very conservative views. They'll tell you in a minute, you need to get your ass up and go get a job. Stop trying to wait on the welfare. But anyway, I was taught a long time ago. I was conservative. Why did I change my political party? Because I couldn't go to a political rally. I could not go to a Republican political rally because of how I would be treated. Yeah. No, I'm not a Democrat. No, I'm not a Republican. I'm an independent. But this is Black in America. This is what you don't hear on the news. This is what you don't see. This is what you don't hear. We go to buy a car. I remember I went to go look at, I never forget it. I was walking around a used car lot, and the gentleman asked me, don't you want to see this Cadillac I got over here? No, I don't want to see no damn Cadillac. I come to see this Mercedes. We are judged before we even open our mouths. We are thought to be not smart enough, not bright enough. Whereas we come from kings and queens. We come from riches and wealth before we were brought to this country. We have done some astonishing things since we've been in this country. Hell, the White House was built by Black people. DC was built by Black people. There's a passage I remember from the military that said that there's a general who said that Black people could not serve in the military because we were not smart enough to follow military orders. We were not allowed to handle weaponry because we were deemed not able to fire a weapon or handle weapons. We've been warriors all our lives. Black women are the strongest women on the planet. Some of the strongest women on the planet. I hail my mother. My mother was even though my mother was married a number of times, my mother was a single black mother, and she raised her 3 kids the best that she could. She had me when she was 14 years old. And she raised me, my brother, my sister the best that she could. And I admire and respect her to this day. But you look back in history at the feats of Black women. Yes. So I hail them. I hold them high. But just a glimpse into my life, I travel, I tell jokes, and some people make fun of me, go, oh man, you telling jokes for them white folks. No, I'm telling jokes for this money. It just so happens to be in a part of the country that you've never seen. I'm okay with that. I'm okay calling Terry and Dave my brother, just like I'm okay with calling Antoine my brother and Ronald my brother. And you don't know what color they are. Jeff's my brother. John's my brother, but you don't know what color they are. I'll be glad when we get to a point in life to where we can just introduce ourselves as, hey, this is Vernon. And when people go to remember, they'll go, oh, Vernon, the black guy. No, just Vernon. Oh, hey, there's Mary. Oh, you talking about Mary, the black chick? No, just Mary. Because the reality of it is, like I said, I'm black, white, Choctaw. When you cut me, I bleed. And I bleed the same color you bleed. Yeah. I bleed the same color. And the thing about it is, and it blow your mind, if you go to the hospital to get a blood transfusion, you don't know what color that person is that blood comes from. My sister has that blood, that special blood, that O negative blood that's universal, can be used with anybody. And they call her on a regular basis to come and donate blood. And can you just imagine how many different people have shared that blood? But if they'd known that blood came from a black person, they would lose their mind. This is being black. My neighborhood. I don't live in the best neighborhood of St. Louis. You know, when people are nice, they ask me where I live. I tell them I live in a suburb of St. Louis called Jennings. When people are mean, they ask me where I live. I say Ferguson. Just being a dick. I know I am. Dick. Honestly, though, some of the nicest people I know live in Ferguson, right down the street from me. But I've had people refer to my area as a bad neighborhood because it is predominantly black. Well, if you came and visited my home, you would think a little differently. If you visited my block, you would think it looks like a block in anywhere else in the United States except for it's in Jennings. And people just automatically assume that that's just a bad area. Terry, I see you typing over there, man, but I got to put my glasses on to see what you said. Terry said, I don't look at you as a person of color. I look at you as a person of God. I will never look at you or any other person of color. Truth be known, I'm a person of color too. So you're a good person. Thanks, Terry. I appreciate that. Well, Terry, you live in a part of the country up there in Illinois where they invented white people. Yeah, I said it. But Terry's a great guy. Terry takes me fishing. He's my brother, and I'd do anything I could for him, just like Dave. So I talk a lot about these people because I've spent time with these people. But I'm going to ask you to do this because I know I'm going long this evening, 26 minutes in. But I really appreciate y'all watching with me and everything and talking with me and hanging with me and sending messages back and forth. I do. But I'm going to ask you to do something. This is America, true enough. I really don't care what color you are. Because the reality is I love you regardless. In my family, I tell folks, I got black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Jewish. I got one little nephew. I don't know what he is, but he is so beautiful. He's got this long black hair and these beautiful eyes. He looked like he's black and husky. Yeah. We call him Mau Mau. He likes to play ball. But before you judge people, take a minute and walk in their shoes. You ain't got to walk in their shoes. Just sit down and have a conversation with them. I miss my point. About the politics. But if we would actually take the time to spend some time to get to know each other, regardless of race, creed, or color, we would probably see things a whole lot differently. What makes me black? You see my skin. But being black is not just my skin, it's my heart. My heart is not black. My heart is gold, and it shines on anybody who needs to be loved. But if we're not given that opportunity, because unfortunately people are taught hate, because hate is learned. You're not born with that. If you take 22 kids from 22 countries and you put them in a sandbox and they can't understand a word of what's being said to each other, they will sit in that sandbox and they will play until their heart's content. Until you tell one of them you're not supposed to like him or you're not supposed to like her. Yes, I am black. I am very proud to be black. I have lost jobs because of my color. I have been denied jobs because of my color. I've been denied shows because of my color. I have been denied opportunities. And people go, man, well, and other people say, man, the white man keeping me down. I'm going to tell you, I ain't never woke up with a white man in my bed. I ain't that kind of cowboy. And if I did, I'm going to beat his ass. I've never woke up with a white man's foot on my chest. If you tell me no, then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go find a way. I'm going to go find a yes. But we have got to teach people. You're my friend, Charlotte. Yes, you are. I love you dearly. But we've got to teach people that we are more alike than we're unalike, because the reality is when the aliens come back, and they are coming back, they're eating all of us regardless of color. So let me read a couple of these comments right quick. So let's see. You're right, Terry. Not our place to judge others, my friends. You're right. You're absolutely right. Neil says, Brother Vern, I think some don't realize that saying you don't see color, but that is kind of offensive. See my darkness, but judge me by my content. It's just, and amen, bro. 2 times to that. Neil, I love that, man. Judge me by the content of my character. If I'm not trying to snatch your purse and run down the street, then guess what? I'm not a criminal. So, with that being said, I did my first 30 minutes show. So I thank y'all for sitting and listening and talking and commenting back and forth. Still working on this chat thing because I could only see just so much. But that's just a glimpse into being a black man in America. It ain't easy. It's a job every day. Oh, the big one. I forgot to mention this one. I'm 6 feet tall, 200 plus pounds, cowboy hat and boots. In the boots and the hat, I look 6'3", 6'4", maybe taller. Trying not to intimidate. Trying to be a non-intimidating, non-threatening black man. Some people say, oh man, screw all that. Just be who you are. Yeah, this is true. I get that. But making people feel uneasy does not get you what you want. It doesn't get you what you need. What it gets you is hostilities. I'm too old for all that. So I know that's right. Eric say you want to really shake folks up, tell them you're brown, but still a brother. I know that's right. So anyway, maybe I'll do part 2 of and I'll do some more in particular sections about it. But hey, happy Black History Month. I love y'all. Hey man, keep supporting me. Check me out, longhorncomedy.com. Don't forget about our comedy booking agency, laughterhasnocolor.com. Yes, thank you for your service. It's still doing well. Got some shows coming up. Hopefully you'll come out and see me. March 6th, 7th, I'm at the Backdoor Comedy Club here in O'Fallon, Missouri. And then I'll be on the 8th. I'll be in Quincy, Illinois, doing some bowling. Yes, raising money for thank you for your service. So I appreciate that. I love y'all, man. Neil say you get the looks. We could talk about this all night, but we not because I got to get ready to get on the road tomorrow. So I love you, man. God loves you. Take care of yourself. Take care of the kids, man. Take care of our vets. I'm Longhorn. God bless you. $2.